Yo, what's up guys, the Insane Game Freak here. Now before we get into the nitty gritty, I'm going to go ahead and bring this up as a thing, and I'll probably bring it up for any videos I do in the future for relationships, just so it's a thing that's in people's heads. I'm not going to say I'm doing a segment called Advice Corner, but if you guys are having any type of personal, real life issue that you want some type of advice on, and you don't mind asking a random person on the internet, I'll do videos giving my advice, and obviously I'll keep your name and information private and whatnot, and I won't divulge anything. Hell, I may not even say it's a goddamn request. I may just talk about it in the video and send it to you privately. Or not, yeah, send it to you. Therefore, there is no general idea that maybe, in case you just don't want it to even be recognized, but you know, it's just advice videos without actually making it a series, just videos I do for advice. So if anyone gives a shit enough to be like, hey, Insane Game Freak, what's your opinion on da 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 da, I'm over here, just in case anyone cares or needs it, and you know, support everyone. Anyways. So anyways, let's talk about the topic at hand, which is this whole let's just be friends argument thing. Okay, look. Now obviously this let's just be friends works in certain situations, but we're going to take the most basic of situations, which is, let's say you're in the mall, you're at the movies or something, you see a chick, and you ask her out, and she says no, and said, but we can still be friends. I need to really address it, and usually when the whole let's just be friends thing doesn't even really come up unless you've known the person for a while, and then when you ask them out and you get rejected, that's usually when it comes up. Me personally, I have gotten to the point in which I'm not bothering with that shit anymore. I can have mutual respect for you, but realistically, to me, you would have to be really close friends to even consider this an option anymore. Because for me personally, I've learned that there is no reason to jump into this. And I wish girls would really stop saying it. Like, only say it to someone you were really close with to begin with. Don't say this shit to people you've known for maybe a few months, but you don't know well enough to say that y'all are like real good friends, but maybe you're friends. Like, say and I'm gonna give like a real life in my life example of why I'm even thinking about this in the first place. But I'm so tired of hearing this whole let's just be friends. You know why? Because from a guy's perspective, if you just rejected them, what do you really think the next thing we want to hear from you is? Yeah, you'll never get into this area, so why don't you get into the second best area, which is the friend zone? And I'm like, nah. And see, I feel like some girls say that to be polite, and guys, like idiots, we say yes because we're either being polite or we're already pre-planning that whole, alright, let's see if I can come back at this round two. You got all these little subsections of plans, or maybe some of you, I'll put it this way, there's a very small percentage of women and men who are put, like when you put them in a friend zone and they actually become like best friends and anything, that usually doesn't happen. That is the unrealistic part of that situation. Because what usually happens is that the guy or the girl will start plotting to try to, you know, go for round two. Either that won't work, or they'll just stay in this really annoying mutual spot in which it's just kind of like, yeah, I'm wasting my time, but I have nothing better else to do. And to be perfectly honest, there is no reason anyone should be in that position. To me, it's kind of like, and people are like, oh, but it's rude to just say fuck them. I'm like, listen, you're not going to get anywhere with them. I've become numb to that whole concept of let's pretend that we're actually being friends instead of actually just moving on with our lives. Because it's more annoying to sit there and try to befriend someone you want to go out with and you want to get to maybe wifey or husband status, instead of just kind of like dicking around with them and kind of wasting your time with these disillusioned thoughts about what could or may happen in the future. Maybe she'll learn, maybe she'll realize, or maybe he'll realize the truth and come running to you with open arms like, I'm sorry I treated you so badly, let's be together forever. And also, you'll start to realize once you get away from them for a little while, you probably don't like them as much as you used to, as you thought you did. And I think that's the biggest thing. Guys and girls don't realize that they don't like the people they think they like as much as they used to. Unless, as I said, there's only, to me, the best case scenario where that may turn out to be true is the scenario in which you and that person have been best friends for like ever. That's like the best scenario in which I could be like, okay, yeah, I made the friend zone. It's possible with you guys. Everyone else, I don't believe it is. It's usually you just not thinking about it, or you're ignoring the flaws that you noticed before, but you just didn't want to address because you were too worried and mentally thinking about asking he or she out. But let me give you a real life example so you understand where I'm coming from. And this is actually pretty recent, like 2 months ago recent. So let me start from the beginning. I'm gonna kind of cut out a few things, but the general gist will still be there. So we get a new coworker. I think about 8 months ago from today. It would have been 6 months ago from when everything ended. But 8 months ago from the day. And I think right when she started working, she was like 2. I think at this point she is either 2 or 3 years. Yeah, she's about 2 years, maybe 2 and a few months, years older than me. And I think when I first met her, I was kind of like, I might have to talk to you later. Like, that was my mentality. Unfortunately, obviously, you work together, so you don't really want to mess that up in terms of work sense, because if it doesn't work, it becomes awkward, and if it does work, co-worker relationships is never a good idea to begin with. So I kind of bid my time, because this was during the period where I had just got my diploma, and I was going through the whole I need to find a job phase, so I made it like this ultimatum for myself. I said, the only way I'm going to ask her out is either if she quits or I quit from getting a new job, because at that point I don't have to worry about the work thing, and I'll spend the in-between time getting to know her. So that's what I did. And ironically, I got the job after she quit, so it kind of became a moot point. I mean, the ultimatum still worked out in the end, because now I got the new job and everything, but that's besides the point anyways. So we had the 6 months, about 5 or 6 months go by. Things happened, and there were certain things that I noticed. There were a few things about her personality I noticed, and I think when I found out that she was quitting, I was like, well, fuck, I guess I'm about to go ask her out then. And I went and asked her out, and that whole experience was very awkward, because I was nervous to begin with, because I was contemplating it that day. Like, it wasn't one of those things where I like sent out some time or some shit. It was literally, I was getting off from work, and I was like, you know what, fuck it. Let's just go ahead and do this, because she was over there shelving by herself, and I was like, you know what, fuck it. So I went over there and I asked her out, and I got this like half-ass yes, and I wasn't really thinking about it, and then like the next day she kind of reneged on it, and I was like, well, fuck. And then she said the let's just be friends thing. And something in my mind was like my mind was like, fuck you, but I just to be polite, I said yeah. So she quit, and I think through the last 2 months I maybe have texted her 3 times, and we've only had a conversation like once, whereas the other 2 times I said hey, like on 2 separate days, and I just didn't get a response, which already kind of just reinforced what I was already thinking. When that first text conversation, it already showed, hey, I'm not going to tell you what the details of it, but it showed me explicitly why in the fuck I'd rather not do that, because you start noticing that those little flaws and things in people you were not paying attention to before, because either you didn't want to pay attention to them, or you figured you'd work out on them when you actually started going out and shit. That didn't happen, and you start seeing these flaws, and you start seeing these personality traits. And I'm the type of guy who the way I start looking at things is like, you and a person aren't going to 100% click. Even your wife, you don't 100% click with. I don't know any married couple who 100% click. I just know married couples who accept each other's faults. That doesn't mean that they mesh with those faults. It means they accept them, and vice versa, and you have a relationship built on trust and fully opening yourself to someone. That doesn't mean everything clicks. So I was like, okay, fine, we have a few disagreements and things. That's fine. the problem I started noticing is that, like, the whole let's be friend thing, my mind, I don't think I was in the right mindset to be even fucking saying that, because, as I said, when a guy first gets rejected and then a girl comes right after that and says, let's just be friends, no guy is thinking about that in the right mindset 90% of the time. 90% of the time you're thinking on that, if you're not saying no to it, if you say yes, you're probably on that second level of, maybe I can win her back bullshit. And I think I was there, kind of, partially, and the other thing is because I'm the kind of person who can't stand seeing a person have these issues that are really obvious to me. So when I'm the kind of person that will try to call you out on it, and try to get you to fucking open up and at least acknowledge your problem, which is why I've heard a few times from people that I should be a therapist. Yeah, okay. I've heard that a few times. Because of how I am with that kind of shit. But some people, you gotta understand, just can't be helped, and the whole, let's just be friends bullshit does not benefit you at all. I feel like if you can walk away from that situation and still want to be near them, even if you know you can't ever be with them, then you can go back into that situation. But to me, so that's why I'm kind of like, when girls tell you that shit now, I'm just kind of like, no. Like, to me, I'm just like, ladies, just don't even fucking tell me that. Or either that, give me a minute. Like, give me a few days to chill out, and then readdress me with the whole let's just be friends. Because I hate when girls fucking say that, like, right after they dump you. Or right after they reject you. It's like, oh, I don't like you no more. It's like, I don't like you like that. But we can still be friends, though. And you just kind of like, why the fuck would you even tell me that shit? Like, do you think I'm in the mood right now to hear, let's be friends, when the whole reason I'm asking you out is because I don't want to be friends? Or just friends, okay? That's the whole problem I have. I'm like, ladies, stop. Listen, I'm talking about the ones you know and you'll see on a somewhat regular basis. If you've known them for a decent amount of time, and, you know them decently well, and you see them somewhat regularly, do not tell them that stupid, let's just be friends. And ladies who have no intention of dating the guy, or even or being friends with the guy in the future, do not tell a guy, let's just be friends, under that context either, because you just come off as bitches. And it goes the same thing if it's a guy and girl situation, or a girl and girl, or guy and guy situation. The point is, do not lead people on if you have no intention of being their friends. And do not say that shit right after you dump a person or right after you reject a person, because usually they're not in the right frame of mind to fucking give you a proper answer to that, and no one wants to hear that shit after being rejected. No one, seriously, no. If I'm asking you, if you have gone through the trouble of asking that person out, do you really want to hear, let's just be friends? If you're going through the stupid effort of asking a chick out or a guy or whatever the fuck, you don't want to hear the stupid, oh, let's just be friends. No, if I wanted to be friends, then I wouldn't have asked you on a date with the intention of dating you as a boyfriend or girlfriend. Stop it. Oh, God. And I hate when they do that. And it's so annoying. So to me, and I'm starting to realize, and as I said, ladies, guys, walk away from that shit for a while. If you're debating it, if you know that you had issues with them before and you ignored it because, like, give yourself a break from them for a while. That's what I suggest. A lot of people just fucking try to go right back into the same routine they were with that person right after they get rejected. Don't do that, because you're not giving yourself time to kind of distance yourself away and kind of clear your mind and shit. Love will fuck you up, and lust fucks you up just as much, if not worse. So that's my whole thing. Just with that whole let's be friends bullshit. Stop. As I said, people stop saying that right after you reject someone, especially if you don't have the intention to. And don't say it in general, because no one wants to fucking hear that. No one wants to hear it. If I'm asking you out, I don't want to hear it. But I'm being redundant now. I just wanted to share that with you, and that was my thoughts. And as I said, the whole advice thing, that's out on the table. So if you want to message me on Skype or on YouTube or on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, feel free to do so. But that's all I got for you guys today. Please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. This has been the Insane Game Freak. Play the game, play to win. It is 4 o'clock in the morning. I need to go to sleep. Peace out.